Welcome back. Thank you so much for returning. And you know what? Met fans were clamoring. We were clamoring. We need another All-Star. We need another All-Star. And you know what? Kodai Senga was the one guy that didn't come to my mind at all. He really didn't. And Kodai Senga is now an All-Star. Congratulations, Mr. Kodai Senga. Welcome to America. Welcome to the Mets. And welcome to the All-Star game. So now we're going to be sending two Mets to the game. And the question of the video is, why the heck was he picked? Was it a justified pick? And were there other Mets more worthy of being All-Stars? So we're going to go over those topics. But first off, like I said, let's congratulate the man. Because if we're basing it on his last performance, All-Star. All-Star. No doubt about it. He did phenomenal. But I'm going to look at Kodai Senga as a whole. And we're going to examine that. But again, if you could find it and like our video, subscribe. Let's keep this Mets momentum going. We're on a 6-game winning streak. A lot of good positive energy coming here. So thank you so much for showing up. And let's get into this video. So Kodai Senga this year, I would say he has been a very, very good number 3 starter. Possibly a number 2. And as of recent, he's been an ace. He had an ace performance, I believe it was Wednesday night, pitched 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, did phenomenal. The Ghost Fork was dancing. Arizona Diamondbacks was swinging like crazy. So he had them off balance. But on a whole, Kodai Senga is 7. He has a 3.31 earned run average. He has a good strikeout percentage. He has been striking out guys at a clip of 11.3 per 9 innings. So he's been a strikeout pitcher. His whip is 1.283. So he's been a very, very solid pitcher. Very solid pitcher. So, but does he deserve it? Does he deserve it? And here are my feelings on this. The All-Star game isn't what it used to be 15 or 20 years ago. You're not going to have the best guys there. You're not. At this point, you need to have at least one member from every team. So just by those standards, the best guys aren't always going to make it, right? And what baseball is doing now, and MLB is no doubt doing this, they want to promote the game. The most important thing is promoting the game, right? So Kodai Senga was signed from Japan, and this is his first year. He's a rookie. So you'll notice that MLB loves rookies, and they love international players in the All-Star game. It's good. It's good exposure for Major League Baseball around the globe, and it just shows that you come to the United States, you have a chance to be an All-Star. And Kodai Senga, no doubt, has had a great, successful first half, right? He has had a great, successful first half. I mean, he's got great stuff. He really does. And I think it's going to put extra eyeballs on the All-Star game. You really do. You're going to have people from Japan tuning in, Kodai Senga fans, and that really helps Major League Baseball. It promotes the game. That is at utmost important. So you're going to see guys who more well-deserved from other teams get snubbed. They're going to get snubbed. You even see, we're going to talk about it, Mets that more well-deserved. They got snubbed. It's not about picking the best. Getting more exposure and promoting Major League Baseball and promoting the All-Star game. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about the almighty dollar. Okay, so to get into it, who are the Mets that were more deserving? And there were a couple of them. I can actually, right off the bat, think of 4 to 5. 4 to 5 Mets who would deserve this more than Kodai Senga. Right off the bat, we go to Francisco Lindor, who was one of the top 2 shortstop. He was in the finale, right? So it's not just me. He was in the top 2. So he was one of the guys who already was highly touted. The guy is putting up a very, very good year. I know there are a lot of Francisco Lindor haters out there, and the only thing that kind of can be pointed out is that his average is not up to par. Well, folks, his average is about 270. 275 is a very good major league hitter, and he's about 30 points. It's not crazy. His average career-wise is 274. Last year, he started off exactly like this and finished the season at 270. So if you're going to have a higher average in the first half or the second half, I would prefer the second half. So it looks like Lindor is trending in that direction. He's actually on pace to have one of his better home run seasons since 2018 when he hit 38 home runs. He really is. He's on pace to hit 35, 36 home runs coming from the shortstop position. He's on pace, on track to have another Gold Glove, a winning Gold Glove, probably finalist. He is playing a very good shortstop. He has 60 RBIs. He's in the top 10 in that category. His OPS has jumped over 800, if you notice that as well. His on-base percentage is approaching 330, which is respectable. He has 20 doubles. He could finish between 35 and 40 doubles, so he has a lot of extra base hits. You know, like him or not, he's very productive, and he is worthy of being an all-star. He really is. Okay, so that's one guy. Number two, we have Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo, I got to say, I am super, super impressed with Brandon. His first season signed to this long-term, not let us down. Usually guys sign their long-term contracts and automatically they revert to just being a horrendous player. And I don't want to call him out in this video, but why not? This year has really spit the bit. He hasn't performed anywhere near the level of player that signed a contract. So Brandon Nimmo is the opposite of that. He deserves every single penny that we've given. He has an award this year of 2.2, 13 home runs. That's actually a very good number for Brandon. His career high is 17. So it looks like he's around 25 home runs coming from a center fielder. There's not many center fielders hit around 25 home runs. So you're going to have 25 to 30 home runs from your center fielder. You're going to have about 35 home runs hitting from your shortstop. Two positions that's not really known for power. That's why these two guys really deserve to be in the All-Star game. Not to mention their defense has been good. Brandon Nimmo has run down and tracked down a lot of good balls. He's playing good defense. He has over 41 RBIs in the leadoff position. And as always, he always gets on base. He's getting on base at a 365 clip. So Brandon is another guy, number two guy that I think deserves it more than Kodai Senga. Now, let's go into the third guy who probably deserves it more than Kodai Senga. And these guys were getting into more like debatable stuff. Now you can kind of really make a good argument that Kodai Senga could possibly be more deserving. But let's go to the first guy. And the first guy has been a rock for us for the entire season. And he's had a couple of outings as of late that have been a little subpar. But this guy has been an all-star. And we're going to go to none other than David Robertson. David Robertson has a 1.4 WAR. He's 2-2 with a 2.06 ERA. And I'm saying he has been one of our best players throughout. He really has. Our best bullpen guy, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. There's nobody in the bullpen who has been close to David Robertson. You know, he doesn't have as many saves as he should have, but it's just because the Mets haven't put him in the position to get many saves. He's only had 13, but I got to say, he has been phenomenal in the games that he has been, and that's another guy that I would consider before Kodai Senga. Okay, so let's move on down the list. And the fourth guy that I would consider over Kodai Senga is none other than rookie sensation Francisco Alvarez. Now you're probably asking, like, you know, Francisco Alvarez has a 240 average. You know, he only has 30-something RBIs. You know, why would we take him over Kodai Senga? And I say really simple. Francisco Alvarez is a young rookie who he missed a good chunk of April, so he doesn't have as many at-bats as some other All-Stars, and he has already 16 home runs coming from the catcher's position. So Francisco Alvarez is on pace, on track to do things that not many catchers do. Really, how many 30 home run catchers are there? Really, he's playing stellar defensively behind the plate. I mean, he's throwing out runners at a clip a lot higher than I would have thought he'd be at. But Francisco Alvarez is another guy that I would consider putting him in before Kodai Senga. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Kodai Senga. I'm just trying to say that, the Mets have players, all the players that we could have chose to been on this roster, really. But again, we congratulate Kodai Senga. Great job, well deserved. If he's gonna keep up this pace, especially if he has another performance like he just did, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit for this guy. So I want to again congratulate him, and we're going to check out the Mets game later. They have a very important game 2 with the Padres. Got to keep that winning streak going. If you don't win these next 2 games before the All-Star break, it really diminishes the win streak. It really did. And especially you're playing the Padres, who are right behind you in the wild card standing. Got to pummel them. You gotta put your foot down. This is what good teams do. Good teams, they take advantage of opportunities, and other teams who are trying to chase them down, you bury them. And, I'm going to make some commentary on the Padres. I want to see them one more game, but they have a heck of a talented team, and I'm really surprised that they are not playing better. But sometimes it's not about collecting as much talent. It's about collecting the right talent, having the right chemistry, and chemistry is very important in a long 162-game season. And, we've seen that. And recently, we've changed chemistry on the Mets. Eduardo Escobar was a guy who's been on the Mets the last year and a half almost. And, we did move him. And it really seemed to, help chemistry. I mentioned in a recent video how Eduardo Escobar he was a respected guy. And I'm thinking that other guys expected Eduardo to be in the lineup all the time. And that just wasn't the best scenario for the team. So when you put Brett Beatty in there, that might have been causing a rift. Sending Eduardo to LA was probably a good move for Eduardo, was probably a good move for the Mets clubhouse. So I don't know if you want to comment on that. That's just a theory that I have. So we'll see how that comes to fruition. I mean, the Mets are 6-0 in July. So let's keep this on a roll. Let's go 8-0 before the All-Star break and see what happens. But again, subscribe. I will see you soon. Let's go Mets. As always, we gotta take 2 more from the Padres. Have a great night, and again, speak to you soon.